All right. All right, if everyone could make sure you are on mute for me, please.
Your Honor, you said go to YouTube?
No, make sure we are live on YouTube right now. Just
Oh,
make
yeah.
sure you're muted.
Okay.
All right, everyone, happy Friday. It's beautiful outside, the sun's shining, the temperature is nice. It's not 100 degrees like it usually is in San Antonio. So everyone, let's make today really be a Friday. Let's not turn it into a Monday. These are the rules of the 187 District Court. To everyone who's at the Bexar County Jail, you're not allowed to use the chat box. If you use the chat box, you'll be sent back. You're not allowed to pick up dates on the Zoom screen. If you try to do that, you will be sent back. To all of the defendants on screen or those who are accused, when I call the names, your name will not be called. Your attorney's name will be called. If you do not hear your attorney's name, that means that your attorney is Zooming in another court. Rest assured that your attorney will have a chance to speak with you and they will Zoom in. It's just that they can't be in two places at one time. The other thing to the attorneys, if you have a client who's on bond and you have reached an agreement, you need to put that agreement in the chat box to N. Ferguson, and we will need your client's email address. To all attorneys, as you can see, there are more defense attorneys than there are prosecutors. When I send you to a breakout room, please be patient, put some patience in your pocket. When you go to those breakout rooms, it's like going to a doctor's office. When the nurse calls you back, they're just taking you to another room before you see the doctor. They're checking your weight and your blood pressure. If you leave the room, what will end up happening is prosecutors will look in that room and they'll see that it's empty and they'll skip over you and go to the next person. Everyone, I'm going to open the breakout rooms. When I do, it will invite you to a breakout room. Do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call your name and assign you to that breakout room. The other thing, your attorney is probably going to want to speak to the state before they speak to you. Trust me, once your attorney lets me know that they want you to go to the breakout room, you will have a chance to go to the breakout room. To all the attorneys, I'm going to call your name. This is the order in which you'll appear. If you see your name is low on the list and you want to Zoom to another court, you're more than welcome to Zoom to another court. However, if you're Zooming in another court and your name is called, we will skip over you. Jaime Aldape, Laura Zachariah, Teresa Conley, Daniel Rodriguez, Rodolfo Zepeda, Sergio Ibarra, Jonathan Watkins, Edward Garza, John Perez, Nathaniel Naving, Brian Kimbrough, and Marco Bass. Is there any defense attorney whose name that I've missed? All right, attorneys, when I call your name, please give me the name of your client and whether or not they're criminal trial division or family violence. Jaime Aldape.
Good morning, Your Honor. Fred Rodriguez, Criminal Trial Division. This was a recall from yesterday to see if I could get a hold of him. I called the bond company, spoke to both the brother and the sister. They said he doesn't have a phone. He does have some sort of Facebook Messenger, but I couldn't understand how they get a hold of him. So I have not been able to get a hold of him, Judge.
All right, do you have Facebook?
I do not have Facebook, believe it or not. I don't.
Okay. Do you know anyone who has Facebook? Because if you
I do.
go,
Fred Rodriguez is a very common name, but I'll continue to try to get a hold of him.
All right, just give me one moment, okay?
Sure.
And I'll take care of your matter. Laura Zachariah.
Good morning, Judge Boyd. I'm here for Joseph Holscher on Christopher Lemire, Judge.
Okay.
That one's Central Trial Division, excuse me. And if we could just confer with the DA, Judge, so we can see if we can get this MTR taken care of.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2.
Thank you, Judge.
Teresa Conley.
Good morning, Your Honor. I have Civil Trial Division, Patrick Hill, and we're having a terrible time connecting with him. His emails aren't working well with me, so I am trying to reach him, but I'll go into your breakout room whenever you're ready.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 3.
Thank you.
Dan Rodriguez. Dan Rodriguez.
Yes, Your Honor. I have Danny Acosta, and it's a trial division matter. I've been conferring with Tom on this.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 4.
Thank you.
Rodolfo Cepeda.
Your Honor, I have Vincent Guerrera, but Mr. Edward Garza has been hired. He's on Zoom, Your Honor.
All right.
That's correct, Your Honor. And this would be a CTD case.
All right, what is the name again, please?
Vincent Guerra.
All right, Mr. Cepeda, if you don't have anyone else with us, you are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Yes, ma'am.
Edward Garza, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 5.
Thank you, Judge.
Sergio Ibarra.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm here for Matthew Velasquez. It's a criminal trial division case. Mr. Kalpas is the attorney of record. I'm here as his associate.
Thank you. I'll send you to breakout room number 6.
Thank you.
Jonathan Watkins.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, Your Honor. I'm here for Michael Moreno. He's in jail and he's got mostly family violence cases.
I'm going to send you to breakout room number 7.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. John Pettis.
Yes, Judge, I've got 2. I've got a Jonathan Boyd. It's a motion to withdraw, but we have had no contact with our client for a while. So he did not get the Zoom link to log on. My understanding is that the judge doesn't allow us to withdraw without the client present.
Yes.
So I'd understand if that gets pushed off.
Okay, and then who else do you have?
And Barbara Shorey, Shorey. And that is criminal trial division. It's an MTR.
Okay, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 8. You're not driving, are you?
No, Judge, I'm parked.
All right, thank you. I don't want to be a witness, and I'm trying to, make traffic better here in San Antonio.
Absolutely, Judge.
All right, I'll see you to number 8.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Nathaniel Navy.
Good morning, Judge. I have Jesus Zamora, and this is a family violence case. It's actually pending an intake, but this is to address an alleged bond violation.
All right, I'll see you to breakout room number 9 to discuss it with the state, and then we'll come back. Brian Kimbrough.
Good morning, Your Honor. I have Shelley Byers. It's criminal trial, but I've been speaking with Hunter. We worked it out last time and we just reset it for final paperwork. So if I could speak to Hunter just to make sure everything's okay.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 10.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Marco Bass. Marco Bass.
Yes, Judge. Good morning.
Good morning.
This is a restitution hearing. UTESCA, University of Texas Health Science Center, San Antonio, is the alleged victim here. We're in constant contact with him. Judge, this is the case where it's over 20 years old. She's been on probation, my client, for over 20 years.
Yes, just give me one moment, Mr. Bass. Let me put the other attorneys in the breakout room, then I'll address your restitution hearing issue.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Ed Bartolome. You're muted.
This is Avala, Your Honor. We're here for the plea. Tom Nesbitt, we need to get the paperwork ready.
I'm sorry, who is it?
Tom Nesbitt has been working with me on Miss Zavala.
What's the first name?
Annette,
All right, if you can put in the chat box to Norma Ferguson what the agreement is, and I'll send you to breakout room number 11.
all right, Your Honor, thank you.
Scott Simpson?
According to the. Yes, Judge. I am here as a prosecutor on Brandon Sims. We're supposed to do the motion to revoke on Les Sekanowitz's guy, Brandon Sims. I don't see him in here yet.
All right, Norma, can you get Leslie Sekwanowicz in here, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Simpson, we'll get him here.
All right. State's ready. We're ready to go on it.
All right, thank you. Then we are back to Jaime Eldape on Fred Rodriguez.
I'm back, Judge.
Okay, let me see if we have a prosecutor available. Is there a prosecutor available for this? This is a recall from yesterday and Mr. Rodriguez is still not present.
Yes, Judge.
All right, court is calling 2021 CR 2975, State of Texas versus Fred Rodriguez. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Marcus Sanders.
For the defense?
Jaime Eldape.
All right, this case was originally set on May 20th. The defendant was a no-show, and the court allowed for this case to be recalled today to see if defense could obtain contact with their client. The defendant has not appeared on the Zoom screen to the courtroom. Has there been a Fred Rodriguez in the courtroom at all?
No, Judge.
And that is Deputy Mejia for the record. Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
Not since January, Judge. I contacted the bond company. They gave me phone numbers. I spoke to 2 family members, but we've been unable to get a hold of him, Judge.
All right, state.
Judge, we're asking that his bond be forfeited and a warrant issued.
All right. Defense, I'll grant the state's motion and I'll remand him without bond. If you're able to get in touch with him and he presents himself, I'll reconsider.
Thank you,
and
Judge.
maybe he can be reached on Messenger. All right, thank you.
There's about 10 million Fred Rodriguez's, but I'll look for him, Judge.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you so much for coming back.
Thank you. Be excused, Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. And then the next person up is Marco Bass. Marco Bass.
I'm here, Judge. Click at the mute button. Sorry.
That's okay. All right. And what is your client's name?
Margarita Dominguez.
All right. So this is the 20-year case, and we're here for an update on the restitution.
And I do have an update, Judge. Yes. So I've been in constant contact with UTESCA and this, more specifically, one of their attorneys. And he's just basically, through the email threads, he's telling me, hey, Marco, it's over 20 years old. We need more time to find it. I guess it's somewhere in the archives, but they haven't been able to find it in order to kind of say yay or nay whether or not they have a problem with, potential early termination or just a termination of her probation.
So when are they going to know something?
Well, Judge, the issue here is whether or not they were covered with, because they're insured. So I'm trying to prove up that they've already been made whole. So I guess the argument here would be unjust enrichment if they're getting, paid twice. So that's what I'm trying to prove up. And I don't know how much longer, Judge. Maybe, I know, another month. Is it?
Okay.
You see, yeah, no, that's a tough ask.
No. I understand where you're coming from. Just give me one moment. Marcus Sanders, are you available?
Yes, Judge.
All right. So this is a case with Miss Dominguez. This file is so old that the documents in it are not even, you can tell that they're all generated by hand. That's how old this case is, from 20 years. So the issue and the motion to revoke is based upon restitution. So defense is stating that they believe restitution has already been paid, I guess, through the company's insurance. So defense is requesting another 30 days, and it has, I understand why it's difficult to find these records because this is over 20 years. Do you have any objection to giving the defense a 30-day reset? Because I don't want someone to be paid twice.
No, Judge, no objection.
All right. Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Margarita Dominguez?
Yes, ma'am. Give me 1 second.
Thank you. And if there's some records you need to subpoena, Ms. Bass, Mr. Bass, let us know.
Alrighty,
And that way
Judge.
we can have a hearing so we can solve this issue.
Okay, that's great. Okay, thank you, Judge.
The 25th, Judge.
All right, so we're going to come back on June 25th. Ms. Dominguez will be back on June 25th.
Yes, you will. Okay.
All right,
Thank you,
and
Judge.
maybe your client has some records, who knows?
Alrighty, I'll see you then. Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. You're excused and your client is excused. See you June 25th at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Judge. All right,
All right, have a great rest of your day.
you too.
Hey, Judge, this is Hunter.
Yes.
Could I get Miss Rebecca Reyes in a breakout room with Laura, Zachariah, myself, number 2?
All right, Ms. Reyes, if you go to breakout room number 2, please. And Scott, we're working on getting Mr. Sakonowicz in here.
Yes, and Judge, as we say that, he has been working on, because his client's in federal custody.
Yes.
And so he was supposed to be working on getting him to be able to zoom in from Limestone, which is right outside of Waco. I don't know if he's been successful at that. I mean, if he hasn't been able to get his client to be able to zoom in, all of it's moot.
All right, Norma, do you know if Mr. Sakwanowic's client is zooming in from Limestone?
I was told by him that he was. He was able to, I gave him the Zoom link. He asked me for the Zoom link. He got a hold of the coordinator. The coordinator requested the Zoom link for this morning. I sent him over the consent and the certificate of appeal. He was going to fax it to them because they didn't have, I guess, an email for them. He was going to take care of all that paperwork for today.
All right.
Sounds like we're right on the beam then.
All right.
So I just texted him and I've called him twice already. He does not answer. So I'll keep
Okay.
bugging him.
He may be
All
in
right.
another hearing.
Well, I'll keep calling him.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, Jonathan Watkins.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I conferred with the state, but I just wanted to talk to my client briefly, if there's any way we could do that.
Is your client in custody or on bond?
He's in custody, Your Honor.
All right, I'm just waiting for them then to bring him out and we'll let you speak with him.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Simpson, if you need to zoom out, because I know you're in another county and you have other cases, if you need to zoom out and the coordinator or myself will text you and let you know when Les appears.
That sounds great, Judge. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Have a good Friday.
Okay, same to you.
Thank you. All right, Jonathan, as soon as your client zooms in, we'll take care of it. Dan Rodriguez. You're back?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm back from the breakout room with Tom. I've conveyed the offer to Mr. Costa, and we are not in agreement. And
All right. Danny Acosta?
he should be present.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'm going to note on my docket sheet that an offer has been tendered. We're going to come back in 30 days, Mr. Rodriguez. At that time, I'll give you all a date for trial. But if you can make a decision or start thinking about with your client whether or not he wants a bench trial or a jury trial. And Norma, can I have a 30-day reset for Danny Acosta, please?
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
He needs to come back on the 24th, June 24th.
All right, it's June 24th by Zoom.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. You and your
Yeah.
client are excused.
Have a good day, ma'am.
Thank you. You two have a great Friday.
All right, you too, ma'am. I'm gonna try my best.
Okay.
Your Honor.
Just give me one moment.
Oh, sure, I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. I just need to write, make notations in a file.
Because I'm look.
All right, yes, Ms. Conley?
Good morning, Your Honor. I spoke with Marcus, and there's some information he needs to gather regarding potential restitution and whatnot. So we're asking for about a 2-week recess.
All right, is your client?
You should be in there by now. We've tried a number of different emails. I have not been able to connect with him. I don't know if this one did or not. His name is Patrick Hill, and he would be, I guess, in the waiting room. I don't.
No, he's not in the waiting room. Brenda, do you see Patrick Hill on the docket?
I don't.
I don't see your client on the docket. Do you, Mr. Sanders?
No, Judge, he wasn't on the docket, so, but I still conferred.
Okay. Oh, that is so great. Look at us. We're conferred on cases that are not on the docket.
He's great.
Awesome.
Your Honor, it was on the computer, the court records, it said today.
All right, just give me one moment. To the clerks, could I have a file on Patrick Hill, please? Hill.
Judge, it looks like he was just indicted, and so this was the arraignment date, but it still says awaiting a trial setting.
Okay. Let's see. We'll see about getting you a date, because this is one of those what they call a phantom setting. So your client really doesn't have to be here today because he wouldn't have received notice necessarily of today's date. Just
What's
give
the
us a
name
moment.
again, Judge?
It's Patrick Hill.
Okay, Judge.
And Your Honor, this was a weird case for me too. I never got an appointment letter.
All right, we're going to take care of that. All right, and I know that everyone received notice about new guidelines, but in the courtrooms, you are still required to wear a mask. Everyone, just give me a moment.
Judge, we have an announcement. I don't know if you're ready.
Stepped away from.
All right, just one moment.
Okay.
Thanks,
no problem.
Brenda. Yes, Mr. Navy.
On Jesus Zamora, just like to address the violation of bond of conditions of bond.
Okay, just one moment. Let me find that violation report. All right. I see the violation report is that he was rearrested.
That's correct.
So is this rearrest because he violated the protective order?
It's because he violated the condition of bond of he's supposed to have no contact with this individual and they were together. There's no allegations of assault or anything like that. It's merely just because they were hanging out together and it's a violation of his condition of bond to be with her. From my understanding, they had an argument and she just called police, but there was no allegations of physical, any physical violence or anything like that, Judge. And actually on the new arrest for the violation of the bond condition, he was given the condition of GPS house arrest, no contact, no possession of firearms, and he actually had to post a new bond anyways. So I would assume that if the state was going to seek anything, those would be the things that they would want anyways. From my understanding, Mr. Martin's just going to ask for the GPS to be on this case anyway, to be on this case as well, because he's already doing that. He already has installed.
All right, let's go on the record. Court is calling NIMAC number 604689, State of Texas versus Jesus Zamora. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
David Martin.
For the defense?
Nathaniel Navy.
All right, and could you unmute, please? Are you Jesus Zamora?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we're here for a violation report. It's a first violation report. Have both parties had a chance to review the violation report?
Yes.
Yes, Judge.
And we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections with this hearing taking place by video? State?
No objection.
Defense?
No, Your Honor. No objection.
All right, so the violation report states that the defendant was rearrested because of non-compliance with a violation of bond or protective order. Defense?
Judge, I've discussed this with the state. My client's already been required to post a bond on the new arrest. And then he was released, and his conditions of bond on that new case are actually GPS full house arrest, no contact with the complaining witness, no possession of firearms. He's already had that GPS installed, Judge. So I would just ask to continue as it is. I understand that the state is asking for the GPS to be placed on this case as well. That's fine, Judge, because he actually already has that installed. So.
All right, state.
That's correct. Just from the magistrate paperwork that we have, it looks like the victim had actually invited him over to visit her and was questioning why he was even being arrested because she invited him over. So as far as this case, we can just admonish Mr. Zamora that even if she invites him over, he's not to have any contact with her, either through phone, voicemail, email, text, Instagram, Snapchat, any of those kind of things. And just put the GPS on this case as well. Just in the event that something happens with that misdemeanor VPO case, that way the GPS will still remain on. But there was no new assault, no physical contact or harm or anything like that. But
okay. All right, Mr. Zamora, I'm not going to swear you in because these are pending cases and we're just here for the violation report. But I want to make sure that we're on the same page so you understand things. Okay?
yes, Your Honor.
All right. Do you and Trinity McManus have any children together?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So here's the issue. I don't take any of these offenses as true because I haven't received any reports, any police reports. No witnesses have been called before me. But in my court, you're charged with assault family second offense. And the alleged complainant is Trinity McManus. And in a misdemeanor court, you have a violation bond or protective order. You are not to have contact with her. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
That means no phone calls, no text message, no Instagram, no Facebook, no driving by our house, to wave to her, none of that. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
How old are you?
I'm 30 years old.
Okay, so this isn't like new first love type of thing where you're like Romeo and Juliet. I guess that may be a bad example because they were underage anyway. I don't know where their parents were, Brenna. But you are not at an age where your head should be so overcome with love that you can't be apart for 2 seconds. You just got to pick up the phone and call her. Brenna, in my day, it was the landline. And you would stretch the card and try to stretch it to your room so the parents can't hear you on the phone. But that's neither here nor there. Mr. Zamora, you cannot have contact with her. If you have contact with her, I'm going to get another violation report. The state may end up asking for something else. They may end up asking that you wait till your hearing is heard from the Bexar County Jail. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you should probably lose her number, block her number so that she can't call you. And the other thing, when I say no contact, that means that you can't contact her family members or have your family members contact her family members to give her messages.
Yes,
Understood?
Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
So who can you not have contact with?
Trinity McManus or her family.
Thank you. Is there anything else, State?
I'm sorry.
Mr. Navy, anything else?
Judge, just to avoid any issues in the future, I'd like to ask for an exception if he needs to leave for work or to pick up essentials like groceries or anything like that in the future. I believe he lives alone at this time. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Zamora, but is that true?
Yes, true.
Okay. Just so that he can leave to pick up essentials and or go to work, Judge.
All right. Is he employed?
I'm self-employed, Your Honor.
Doing what?
Film and photography.
Who's filming in a time of COVID? That, by the way, everyone, I just gave you a title for a great film, In the Time of COVID. You know, they had that movie called In the Time of Cholera. I think that was the name of it.
Yeah.
So are you getting a lot of work with people wanting to be filmed?
I actually have some clients that are waiting on me for film.
Okay. State, do you have any problem with him working? He's self-employed. Don't stop Steven Spielberg. He may end up being the next Steven Spielberg or the next Tyler Perry. We don't know.
Actually, I've been doing this for 6 years, Your Honor.
There we go. So I don't know. Do you want to do like a curfew, Mr. Martin?
If he could give advance notice to pretrial services, that would be preferred.
All right, Nathaniel Navy, is that doable for your client?
I think so, Judge. Just as long as he knows those dates and can give notice to pretrial, and they'll allow him to leave his house for that work. I don't see that being an issue.
Okay, so I'll do partial. And I'll do defendant allowed to work upon, you should be able to give 24 hours notice. Is that correct, Mrs. Zamora?
Yes, Your Honor.
So allowed to work and obtain essential items upon 24-hour notice. And I don't know what the conditions are in the other court, if that's partial or full, but if they're full, then you will still be on full. So you're on GPS in this court, Mrs. Zamora. I'm allowing you to work and go do your grocery shopping or get essential items, but you have to give the GPS people 24-hour notice. You understand? And I know Memorial Day is upcoming. Don't try to meet Miss Trinity McManus for anything. Don't try to rekindle anything. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor. Question: if this court is allowing me to go do grocery shoppings, but the other court isn't, will I get in any trouble?
you have to obey the orders of the other court as well, and your attorney will speak to you about that and probably speak to the other court concerning that.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Is there anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Zamora, I'm putting on my docketing sheet that you've been admonished about the no contact, and we've had our first violation. So you're an adult, you're not a young kid, so you understand.
Yeah, it's my freedom on the line. I understand, Your Honor.
All right, I like that. Thank you. All right, with that, we will close the record. And Mr. Navy, if you don't have anyone else with us, you're excused. And your
No, Your
client
Honor.
is excused.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
All right, thank you. You too.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, and Teresa Conley.
Your Honor, I have my client on the phone, but all the email I see, it gave me 3 different emails and I couldn't connect with any one of them. I sent Zooms and he wasn't able to connect.
We can reset it, that's fine.
Thank you.
All right, because it wasn't listed on our docket today, but we'll make sure he gets a setting.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Norma, on Mr. Hill, can you give him a 30-day reset? It's not on our listed on our docket, but it's 2021 CR 4514.
Sorry, Judge, you said 4514?
Yes.
Is he online right now, Judge?
He's on the phone with her.
Okay. Tell him to come back on Tuesday, the 25th.
What, are we saying June 25th?
No, next week, the 25th.
Okay. All right, Teresa, if your client can be here by Zoom on May 25th.
May 25th, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, but if he's having issues, Judge, can he come in?
Ms. Conley?
I think he might be able to come in. He might have to because I've sent 3 different emails starting yesterday. We didn't just leave this till the last minute, and I haven't been able to get through, or he says he hasn't received them.
All right, so if you can have your client, let him know if he can't Zoom that he's allowed to come in person.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
I have another court right now.
Yes, thank you. Have a good day.
You too, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, and Norma, on that one, can you make sure that Ms. Conley is listed as an attorney? She said she is still waiting for her appointment order, and that's something I know you wouldn't do, the system would do, but she's looking.
I just had the system send it to her.
All right, thank you. Edward Garza on Vincent Guerra.
Judge, we're back. I conferred with Marcus. We'd like to ask the court for a short, maybe 30-day reset. I just got hired on this case. He does have 2 unindicted ag robberies that are alleged in the MTR, and I'd like a chance just to be able to review the discovery and then see what kind of an offer we're going to be able to work out for Mr. Guerra, if it pleases the court.
Client.
Pardon me?
Where's your client?
He's in custody, Your Honor.
All right.
I already spoke to him.
All right, he needs to come back to the main room. So if
Okay.
you go to breakout room number 5 and have him come back to this room, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
You want me to do it? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Jonathan Watkins.
Yes, Judge.
Yes, on Michael Marino.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, what's happening with Mr. Marino?
So we're just gonna, I just wanted to talk to him, Judge, but I don't know if he's incarcerated, but I don't know if they have him in that room.
Okay, just one moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we're waiting for him to be brought over. Just give us a second.
That's fine. Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you.
I did call the jail judge. They're gonna bring him over. I just don't know when.
All right. Sergio Ibarra.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. To give the court an update, this setting was about a motion to amend conditions of bond that we set for Mr. Velasquez, Matthew Velasquez.
Yes.
I've conferred with Mr. Sanders, and we are in agreement. We will send the court an email regarding that. But if the court had any questions or anything of Mr. Velasquez, or his parents are both on as well, that would be fine, Judge. But I as an officer of court can tell you that he has basically been looked after by his parents. I've had a lengthy conversation with him as recently as yesterday. I do not believe that he will be violating at all. We're just asking for it to be changed to tracking, so that he's able to work another job and do more errands and things of that nature.
All right, and state you're in agreement with tracking only?
Yes, Judge.
All right, if you all will send me a email with your agreement in the email, then the court will sign your motion.
Yes, ma'am, I will send that directly.
All right, and so your next court date is going to be June 17th. That's what's listed in the file here. Do you have all your discovery? It shows that the blood discovery was given on April 30th.
Yes, we do have that, Your Honor. It is pretty lengthy. I am going through this, and me and the family are trying to decide whether we're going to retain an expert in this situation. Although Marcus and I have always conferred well together, and we're seeing if we can't come to a resolution on this. There are a lot of different aspects to it that need to be covered, especially the decedent's family, having them involved. So that's part of the process here, Your Honor.
All right, so we're going to come back on June 17th. At that time, you need to let the court know, because this is an old case, you need to let the court know whether or not there's going to be an expert, whatever you need. And on that June 17th date, I will give you all your plea deadline date at that time.
Very well, Judge. Thank you.
All right, you and your client are excused unless you have anything else with us.
Nothing else, Your Honor. Thank you very much. Have a good weekend.
All right, thank you. You too.
And Your Honor,
Yes.
you put me in Zoom 11, I think. I've been waiting for like 45 minutes.
Okay.
Is there a
Ed
connection?
Bartholomew, you're
Yes.
acting as though you haven't ever been to the hospital or to
Your
see
Honor,
your doctor.
I've been there plenty of times.
You know they make you wait, Ed.
No, they don't.
Oh, get out of town.
No,
Ed,
have
I
good
need you to
doctors,
come
Judge.
with me to my mom's appointments.
I'm just teasing, Judge, because I got another Zoom I need to do for.
Ed, I was heading to your room now, if you got a minute to talk real quick.
Oh,
All right, Ed, if you'll go to number 11, Marcus will meet you there.
Now, see, I'm right on time, Judge. Thank you.
Judge Boyd, I'm back from the conference room with Hunter and the CLO. Can I talk to Mr. Lemire?
Just give me one moment.
No problem. Sorry, Judge.
Oh, no problem. I have to make sure I notate things in the file. All right, and you are back, Mr. Lemire. What's happening with Lemire?
I just need to talk to our client for a little bit, explain kind of what we came up with, Judge, and see if he's on board for that.
All right, if you'll go back to breakout room number 2, and Mr. Lemire, if you'll go to number 2, please. Orlando Castellon.
Yes, Judge. I'm here on Antonio Perez. I'm talking to Marcus, who I think just went into a breakout room. It's, I believe, a discovery compliance. I don't know if he's gathered the last bit of discovery that I was asking for.
And I'm sorry, what's your client's name again?
Antonio Perez.
All right, as soon as he comes in, we'll take that up. Jonathan Watkins, your client is present. Jonathan Watkins.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, your client, Mr. Marino, is present.
Thank you, Judge. I'd like to speak to him briefly.
All right, Mr. Marino, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 6.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. If he can go to breakout room number 6, please. 6. Oh, I should say 6. All right, and then Ed Garza.
Judge, I need some help. I guess they need to call over to the jail and bring him back over. He must have thought he was excused. He's not sitting in his chair, so.
All right, Norma, can you get Mr. Guerra back, please?
I'm sorry about that, Judge.
Oh, no problem.
Apologize. We were in breakout room number 5. trying to make sure it's a
They
Friday.
put him
not a
back in, Judge.
Okay, Norma, he needs to leave that breakout room and come to the main room. I'll go there and try to talk him out of the breakout room.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Guerra, could you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my understanding is that Mr. Garza has just been hired on your case,
Yes, ma'am.
and that Mr. Garza, you said that he has other cases as well?
Yes, Your Honor. There's 2 unindicted felonies, aggravated robberies. And I believe there's a ABI case pending in Court 7.
State, do you have any idea when you will be able to look into the aggravated robberies? And Ed, are you hired on the aggravated robberies?
I'm hired on everything, Your Honor.
All right.
Judge, what's the question? I mean, I can look at them on the computer right now, if that's the question.
Yes.
Are you asking when they'll be indicted?
Well,
There's
no, because he's here for a motion to revoke 4 to 400 grams, penalty group 2A. And so I'm just trying to figure out the allegation that you all have in the motion is the aggravated robbery. So I don't know when you all would like a contested hearing on that, or I could give him a reset and you all can come back and maybe consider what will happen on all of the cases combined, because all of these are first degrees.
I would prefer the latter, Judge, just to give me some time, that's all.
Okay.
I don't think we're going to have a contested hearing on these matters.
All right. So if the court were to reset this for 30 days for a contested hearing, would everyone be ready, or is that too long a time, State?
The little twirly whirl's working right now. I'm just trying to see what all has come in on the case as far as evidence this far.
Okay. All right, Mr. Garza, just give us a moment, please.
Not a problem, Judge.
Thank you. Laura Zachariah?
Yes, Judge. So can I actually talk to you in a breakout room with the state on this one? Thank you.
And then after I speak with you, Marcus Orlando Castellano is going to want to talk to you. So if you can go to breakout room number 3, and Marcus, if you could go to 3, and I will meet you all there.
Nice. Yeah, and I think there's enough in here for us to figure it out now. I mean, the lineups and everything are in here. Not now, but like with one reset.
Yeah, just one reset. I mean, Tom, we're going to work it out. We're going to have to work.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with that.
Okay.
I think I know his co-defendant, John Rice. I think that guy's the little brother of a guy named Jay Guevara, who's got a double capital from the Denver Heights area of the east side. And I think I had that John Rice guy in the 144th on a bunch of escape and other stuff a few years ago.
Yeah.
Small world.
Yeah. Yeah. How you been doing, Tom?
Pretty good.
Good.
Hi, Tom, did you have an update on Mr. Guerra?
Judge, there is enough in Veripic for Ed and I to have this sorted out by next setting, be it a hearing or we've resolved it, with some type of negotiation. But it looks like most of the pros guide evidence, photos, videos, et cetera, has come in. So there is enough in here for us to be able to figure it out.
And I just need to finish downloading the information, Your Honor. So I think we can resolve it within one reset.
All right, so is 30 days enough time, Tom?
Yes, Judge.
All right, Norma, on Mr. Guerra, can you reset that for 30 days?
Yes, ma'am. The 25th.
All right, we'll be back on June 25th.
Yes, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you. Have a good weekend. Have a nice day.
All right, thank you, you too. Mr. Guerra, we're gonna come back on your case on June 25th.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Norma, can you let them know that 14K can go back?
I'm excused, Your Honor.
Yes, but just remain in the seat. The deputies don't like you moving around, so someone will come and get you, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
All right, thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
You too, ma'am. Thank you.
And Norma, can you let Scott Simpson know that Mr. Sekwanowicz is here? And everyone, just give me one moment, please. All right, Brian Kimbrough.
Yeah, could you put me in with Ms. Byers, Shelley Byers?
Okay.
Thank you.
If you'll go back to breakout room number 10,
Okay.
and Shelley Byers, if you'll go to 10, please. Matthew Allen.
Yes, Judge.
Yes, who do you have?
Noah Nellum. He's in custody.
Is it criminal trial division or family violence?
It's family violence. David Martin was handling it.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3.
Okay.
Hello, Mr. Sawyer. How's it going?
Right, Your Honor, and how are you this morning?
Oh, I'm doing great. It's Friday. It's a beautiful day outside.
Can't ask for much more, can you?
No, you can't. If you ask for anything else, you just be selfish.
Judge, I have Sean rod us today, and we just filled out the paperwork so we can see if he needs an evaluation for competency and sanity. We got your form in. He's in my office. He's just filled it out, and we're emailing it back to your court.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Judge, thank you. Don't need to do anything further this morning.
Oh, just give me one moment.
Yes.
Norma on Rodas, we are supposed to have an update on his evaluation. So I don't think that's been completed yet. Can we get a reset date for it?
We can come back on the 25th, Judge.
All right, so we're going to be back on June 25th to get an update on the evaluation.
That'll be great, Judge. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you for zooming in. Of course, as always, tell your brother I said hi.
Actually, he'll be in town next week, so I'll probably slide by to see your court, bring some brownies with us.
Oh, thank you. Have a good one.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Can we do her plea on Monday? I've got to get a hold of her for her paperwork. She's zoomed in, and I've got 2 others this morning before I head for Fort Worth to see my grandson.
See, you know what, Brenda? People always try to throw children out there.
Well, it's a fact, Judge. She's a brand new baby.
People see, and now he's added the fact that it's a brand new baby, and I need to see my grandson.
Well, my wife.
And, you know, the child is brand new, Brenda. So because his child is great, because the grandchild is brand new, the grandchild can't say, no, I really don't need to see Ed today. So I can't even call the baby as a witness.
Well, Judge, you can call my wife because she's the one tapping his foot.
Well, I mean, he may want to see your wife, but not you, Ed. We don't know. I can't question him.
I know.
All right, who's your client?
Ms. Zavala, Your Honor, the paperwork will be ready, and we've reached a plea agreement. So we pleaded on Monday, and I'll have.
All right, let me find her case.
Judge, did they fire your coach at LSU yet?
You know what? And see now, Brenda, he's acting like he does not want to be excused. Why is he bringing up LSU at a time like this?
I just had to ask, Judge. I know how you feel about me.
God, why is he doing this to me?
He knew it was unwise and he couldn't help himself, Judge. He knew that he was traveling down a road he shouldn't do, and he couldn't resist the temptation. He's just not capable of restraint.
But Scott, I called you yesterday, by the way, on a client.
I got it.
All right. Can you give me a call in the cell this afternoon? I'll be on my way to Fort Worth and we can talk.
All right. So, but Scott, don't call him while he's driving because that's an issue. No calling. You know, it can wait. That's all the signs in San Antonio and in Texas. So Ed, Ms. Zavala, do you have all the paperwork?
I will have it. The state's preparing it. And they'll be
all right.
emailing it to her.
And did you inform Ms. Ferguson what the agreement is so she can make sure your client has the paperwork?
I have not informed her yet, Judge. They're preparing it, but I need to tell Marcus her email so he can send it to her, Judge, and we can have it prepared for Monday.
All right, Norma, can we recall Ms. Zavala on Monday? Ed says he needs to meet his grandchild, and I'm hoping he's bringing gifts to the grandchild. I'm gonna find out.
Yes, ma'am. On the 24th? Yes, ma'am.
Yes. All right, we're gonna come back on the 24th for a plea. Ms. Zavala, that will be your plea deadline. date. And Ed, if she cannot work Zoom, then she can appear in court.
She can work Zoom, Your Honor. If she's online, she should be in this morning.
No, she's here, but you know, sometimes if Zoom causes issues, then just come into court. But if she can do it by Zoom, that is fine. The court will accept that.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate your consideration. As always, have a blessed weekend. Patty, I look forward to your call. My wife.
All right, and Ed, I'm going to send your grandchild an LSU outfit to get them prepared where they need to go.
Oh, well, that could be wonderfully received, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Scott, Leslie is here. Leslie, is your client going to Zoom in?
He's supposed to be available by Zoom.
All right, can you call them and see where he is, please?
Okay, I will do that, Judge.
Thank you. And Mr. Lemire?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we're going to come back on your case. We're going to come back on June 7th because there need to be some evaluations done that have been requested by defense. If that evaluation is completed before July 7th, which I'm hoping it will, then of course we will bring you back sooner. Rebecca, the defense is also requesting a mouth evaluation. Will you all be able to do that?
I'm gonna schedule it in the calendar and I'll let her know when. Can I get clarification? So it's June 7th is the next court date?
I'm sorry, July 7th.
July 7th, okay.
Yes.
I figured that would give us time since we were talking about how it was going to be late June for the eval.
Yes.
So I figured, hey, let's do both.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll make notation of that and I think it will be done by that time.
All right, so Mr. Lemire, there are going to be some people coming to speak with you. There's going to be someone speaking with you on an evaluation. And then there will be someone speaking with you on a mixed mild evaluation as well. So you'll be seeing no less than 2 people. Do you understand?
I understand, Your Honor.
All right, and if everything is completed before July 7th, we'll bring you back before July 7th, okay?
Okay.
All right, have a good rest of your day.
Judge, I do need to see him in the breakout room so I can get him to sign some paperwork.
All right, Ms. Zachariah, I'm going to send you to the breakout room as well.
Okay.
I'm going to send you all to breakout room number 4.
Can we be released from there, Judge?
Yes, but you'll need to have your client come to the main room.
Okay, got it, Judge. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, Jonathan Watkins, Mr. Moreno.
Yes, Your Honor. I had a chance to talk to my client and I've been conferring with David, but prior to this, I'd also been conferring with Joe Ray. I'm ready to proceed, Judge, but I do want the court to know that I told David this, the complainant had reached out to me and the complainant on the new allegations that triggered these violation reports. I didn't really just told her to talk to the DA and I know they have her number, but I'm not sure I've spoken to her.
So are we here for a violation report?
Yeah, he had 2 new charges. I believe it was a terroristic threat allegation and then deadly conduct. And that got him remanded without bond. Some of the cases that he has currently pending, some of the indicted cases.
All right, then it sounds like the violation report has already been taken care of. Let me see if I can get a copy of the violation report. Just give me a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, no, you're here for a motion to set bond.
Yes, Judge.
That's what you're here for on the docket. All right, just one moment. To the clerks, could I have the motion on Moreno, the motion to set bond, please? And do you have you had an agreement reached with the state on a bond or no?
There's no agreement. And just for the court's knowledge, I don't know that have formally filed an actual paper motion or e-filed anything, but I can have an order drafted and filed if the court's willing to proceed.
No, Judge hasn't filed any motions.
All right. And on the discovery acknowledgement, I'm going to forward this back to you, Marcus.
Yes, Judge. On what case?
It's on Zavala, and I'm sending you a message in the email.
Okay.
All right, David Martin or either Joe Ray, are you okay with proceeding on Mr. Moreno on an oral motion, or would you like a motion to be filed?
I want it to be filed and I want my 3 days.
Okay.
Oral motion.
Mr. Watkins?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll recall this. And if you
Judge, I was just kidding. We can do the oral motion.
Well, you need to say, I'm kidding. Ha ha.
Thank you, David.
I'm just going to ask that he remain remanded without bond. Just the number of cases he have, they're all of a similar nature. And
All right. And my understanding, what's highlighted on this case is 2020 CR 2280. That's the one that he's remanded without bond.
Yes,
So
Judge.
if everyone could please mute for me. All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 2280, State of Texas versus Michael Moreno. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
David Martin.
For the defense?
Jonathan Watkins for Mr. Moreno, Judge.
And are you Michael Moreno?
Yes, ma'am, I am, Judge.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
no objection.
Any objections from the defense?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Moreno, do you have any objection with this hearing taking place by video?
No, ma'am.
And also the defense is here for a motion to set bond, and the defense has not filed a formal motion, but the defense is proceeding on an oral motion to set bond on this cause number. State, do you have any objections to this being an oral motion?
No objection.
All right, and are you ready to proceed on this motion, State?
Yes.
All right, defense, it's your oral motion. You may begin.
Your Honor, we'd just like the court to know that the alleged complainant has been contacting Mr. Moreno. He denies the allegations that have triggered the new arrest, which were filed at large. And we'd respectfully request that the court grant him a bond. If the court needs to double the bond or set it higher than what it initially was set at, Judge, that's fine. And we'd be receptive to GPS monitoring so long as the fees be waived. He is employed as a landscaper, and his work is varies throughout the sides of town. And I've advised him, Judge, that as long as the no contact order is in effect, he's not to have any contact with her, Judge. It's just that she's been contacting him from what I've been informed.
All right, State.
Judge, we just ask that he be remanded without bond. He's indicted as a habitual offender for 2 prior prison trips, family second offense. He's awaiting trial on 3 assault family second offenses, at least 3 violation of bond protective order cases since January. And I believe this is his 3rd violation report on this case. That would be our recommendation.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Moreno, what I want you to know is I don't take any of the offenses as true, the underlying of the offense, because I haven't heard any facts in the case. So what I look at is I just have to look at what you're charged with and what has happened in your case. The state is correct. This is not your first violation report. And you've actually been on bond for possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than 1 gram. You have an assault family second case in 2020 CR 1318, an evading arrest detention with a vehicle in 2020 CR 6152, an assault family second in 2020 CR 7894. You have a deadly conduct family out of County Court 7, which is cause number 661106. You have a terroristic threat of family or household in County Court 7 and cause number 661107. And then you have a CM clause number 085115, and that's repeated violation of court order or bond condition. So part of placing someone on bond is one, can they make the bond, right? And the other one is whether or not the community can be protected. Based upon one, the fact that this was not your first violation report, and the fact that there are so many cases, and all of the cases except for one, two may be considered non-violent cases. So I'm going to not set the bond. I'm going to deny the oral motion, Mr. Watkins. Is there anything else with regards to this hearing?
Judge,
Yes.
if I can please say something.
Your attorney may want to, here's the thing, time out.
Okay.
You may want to speak, you may want to speak to your attorney before you say anything with me. Of course, I'm willing to listen to whatever you want to say, but your attorney may want to give you advice in regards to that. Of course, Mr. Watkins, if you want to have another motion to set bond and you want to call witnesses, the court is always here to hear whatever is presented.
Judge, I think that's a good idea. We'll I'll get back with Mr. Joe. We'll file a formal judge and try and get the complainant in.
All right, and have you received all the discovery on these cases?
For the cases that I'm on, yes, I have, Judge.
Okay, and are you on all the cases or no?
Except for the 2 new misdemeanors, yes, Judge. I believe I'm on all five of his cases.
Okay, I'm going to extend his plea deadline date because one, I know you're the new attorney, and two, because these new misdemeanor cases are popped up. So Mr. Marino, after this plea deadline that I give you, the court will not extend it any further. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Norma, on Michael Marino, can you give them a 30-day reset, please?
We can do the 24th, Judge.
All right, we're going to come back on June 24th. And June 24th will be your plea deadline date. Mr. Watkins, do you need to speak with your client?
Yes, I'd like to talk to him. And after that, could we be excused?
Yes, but you need to have him brought back to the main room. I'll send you to breakout room number 5.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, we do have the people here on the Jack Harwell Detention Center. Leslie Sekwanowicz, did you need to speak with your client?
Yes, briefly, Judge.
All right, and have you received all the paperwork for him?
Yep. Norma has it. Emailed it to her this morning.
All right, I'm listening.
I'm sorry to interrupt. You should have it already on your desk, Judge.
All right, I do. So I'm sending you to breakout room number 1. And then Mr. Simpson, we'll take this up as soon as they come back. All right, everyone, just give me one moment, please.
And Mr. Kimbrough, I'm checking up on your paperwork right now.
Yeah, because we've done it a couple of times, so I think a lot of it's been done already, and it's mainly the packet. And I got the discovery in, so I think that hopefully, but if the appeal needs to go in, the appeal certificate, let me know. I think we did that already.
Let me check on it.
Excuse me. Mr. Lemire, if you can please join the breakout room number 4. It should have it on the bottom.
Do you see it at the bottom? Okay. Just one moment.
Les, are you back from the breakout already, or they haven't put you in there yet?
No problem. All right, so are you guys ready on Mr. Jack Harwell? Leslie?
That's the facility. Oh, yes.
Leslie,
Where is it?
are you
Yeah.
ready on Mr. Sims?
Yes,
All right, you need to show your video.
yes, ma'am.
All right, the court is calling 2017 CR 10063, State of Texas versus Brandon Sims. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Scott Simpson, special prosecutor from Medina County, handling the case.
For the defense, you're muted, Mr. Sakanowicz.
Leslie Sahanovich here on behalf of Mr. Sims.
And are you Mr. Sims? No, are you Mr. Sims?
Yes.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state or the defense?
None from the state.
Not from the defense.
Mr. Sims, you signed a document that I'm showing to you. It's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. And the court will also note that the defendant is not in Bexar County. He's at Jack Harwell Detention Center. Next, Mr. Sims, I'm showing you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you understand it?
Yes.
Are you the same Brandon Wade Sims who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2017 CR 10063 for the offense of possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams on August 23rd, 2018 for a period of 6 years? Is that you?
Yes.
All right, state.
Yes, yes, Your Honor. We're proceeding on violation number 1.
All right, the violation reads, Mr. Sims, on or about the 11th day of December 2019 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Brandon Wade Sims, committed the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, in violation of condition number 1. How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
State, are you proceeding on the other allegations?
We are waiving and abandoning all other allegations, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Sims, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to life in prison, up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes.
I believe it's a second degree, Judge, isn't it?
No, it's listed in the judgment. and it's listed in the plea paperwork as a first degree. It's possession with intent to deliver 4 to 200 grams.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, did you understand that was the range of punishment, Mr. Sims?
Yes.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Your Honor. The agreement is to adjudicate him guilty and sentence him to 6 years. And that sentence will run concurrent with the federal sentence that he has gotten in federal case number 20-CR-00011.
Is that 3 zeros?
That's correct.
Mr. Sekwanowicz, is that the agreement? You're muted.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Sims, is that the agreement?
Yes.
Are you asking me to follow that agreement?
Yes.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes.
All right, then the court will follow the agreement that has been reached. The court will find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, sentence you to 6 years in the prison. This will run concurrent with your federal case 20-CR-00011, and you'll receive credit for any time served. Has he already been sentenced on the federal case?
He has,
Yes,
Your
Your
Honor.
Honor.
He got 120 months in the federal case in that same cause number we read off.
All right. And Mr. Sims, the reason why I was asking that question is because I have no jurisdiction to make cases run concurrently, but because you've already been sentenced on the federal case, I can then have this case run concurrently. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes.
And actually, all of these documents were faxed to him. So he signed them and then it was faxed back to the court. Is there any objections to the court receiving the documents in that manner? State?
None from the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then, Mr. Sims, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Sims, good luck to you. Unless there's anything else from either side, the court will close the hearing.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Simpson, for agreeing to take this case. And thank you, Mr. Sekwanowicz and Jack Hartwell Detention Center. Thanks for having Mr. Sims here. And Mr. Sims, thank you for your patience. Good luck to you.
And I just want to give 5 stars to Norma, okay? For making
All
it
right,
happen.
well, you're only giving 5 stars. You know what? I'm disappointed. You should give more than that.
Well, I
All
had
right, thanks,
10.
everyone.
Okay, bye,
Thank you.
Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Sims, do better, okay?
Second.
Do better. You can do better, all right?
Oh, yes. Is important something I can pursue in
No,
the future?
yeah, you should try to do, improve yourself, right? Because otherwise you're going to end up in custody all the time.
Well, yeah, I've already made a transition with my mind state, so
All
better
right.
things on the way.
All right. Good luck to you, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sekwanowicz.
Thank you, Judge. You get, a judge gets 5 stars too.
That's all you're giving me? And you
I
need
had
to,
to divide, I had to divide them. I had 10, right? So I had to give 5 to you and 5 to Norma.
all right, well, you need to sprinkle it around to the rest of the staff.
Next time I come around, I'll bring more, okay?
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Hey,
Bye.
Judge, I'm good to go, Judge.
Yes, they're going to send a deputy to remove you. Norma, 14N can go back.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
then Brian Kimbrough, I am just waiting for the
Thank
paperwork.
you,
Once
Judge.
I
God
receive.
bless you.
Oh, thank you so much. God bless you too.
He will.
Oh, I hope so. I know he will.
I know I'm gonna be a grandpa, so.
Okay. All right, Jonathan Ross.
Is it through Zoom?
Jonathan Ross.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, what are we
Morning,
doing?
Your Honor. I was just wanting to approach court. I represent Miss Michelle Johnson. We did a plea on DWI third, and she was supposed to turn herself in on Wednesday, and there were some personal and medical issues that popped up that we might be able to, if it's possible, we might be able to explain in more detail in a breakout room.
All right, is she in the courtroom?
She is, Your Honor. She's in custody in the jury box.
All right, then I think that's something that maybe you should speak with the state. Are they still going forward with the plea bargain agreement as is?
We have discussed with the state, Your Honor. They have agreed to allow us to modify that if Your Honor would be all right with that. There's Mr. Sanders, we spoke.
All right, so if courtroom, if you go to breakout room number 1, and Mr. Sanders, if you can go to 1. And everyone, I'm still waiting for the paperwork on Shelley Byers.
Let me check my email, see if it's held up at me, Judge.
All right. So we're going to proceed on Michelle Johnson. All right, in the courtroom, I know we're in a different courtroom because of the, I'm not going to say finally, but because the carpet is being changed after the flood here. So could you move the camera? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Deputy.
Brenda, they already knew where I was going with this. All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 2314, State of Texas versus Michelle Yvette Johnson. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Marcus Sanders.
For the defense?
Jonathan Ross for the defense, Your Honor.
All right, and are you Michelle Yvette Johnson? I'm going to need you to speak up.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can take this.
All right, we're proceeding with sentencing by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state or the defense?
No objection from the state.
None, Your Honor.
All right, this hearing was actually scheduled on May 12th, but the defendant was a no-show, and the court remanded her without bond and issued a, granted the bond forfeiture as requested by the state. We have been in the breakout room, and when I say we, I mean the defense counsel in the state, and the state has made the court aware and the state aware of medical issues. I don't know, Mr. Ross, if you wanted to state those medical issues on the record or not.
Not if it's not required, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, and according to the plea bargain agreement that was reached, if the defendant did not show, the defendant will be subject to the full range of punishment. So we are at the position where she is subject to the full range of punishment. State, is there anything you would like to say?
No, Judge, based on what well, yes, Judge, based on what Mr. Ross said, I guess the state is in a sort of torn position. Ms. Johnson has significant DWI history, and then she failed to show for her sentencing, but I understand the position that she is in and that he is in. So we believe that whatever the court decides to do would be appropriate.
All right, anything you would wish to say, Mr. Ross?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Johnson, Ms. Johnson understands that this issue is a life-threatening issue that she's dealing with. Obviously, she's very emotional right now. She understood she's hit bottom. She was in the hospital from pretty much right after when she was supposed to turn herself in until Sunday. She's been in communication with me and the state, and I've been in communication with the state on her behalf to bring her in front of Your Honor and deal with this as responsibly as possible. She understands that you know that she needs treatment in this, and so she is humbly requesting that.
All right, Ms. Johnson, I reviewed your entire history. I reviewed the stipulations that were submitted to the court. So what do you want? Let me have you raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth or nothing but the truth, so help you God? You can lower your hand. All right. And Ms. Johnson, here's the thing. You're at a crossroads in your life. Either you want help or you don't.
I do.
So if I were to give you probation, it will be for 10 years. You bargained for 6 years, but the full range of punishment is open because you did not appear as you were required to do for sentencing. So if I give you probation, you're going into custody today. You will either be going to inpatient treatment somewhere or going to felony drug court. Felony drug court may still require you to do inpatient treatment. If they accept you in that program, What they place you in will be completely up to them because they will evaluate you in more detail. I believe and know that you need inpatient treatment. So knowing that you're going into custody today, do you want the probation or do you want prison?
The probation, please.
All right. So the court is going to sentence you to 10 years in prison, suspended and probated for 10 years. Take in consideration 2021 CR 3744. There's to be no driving for the entirety of this probation. $10 days in the Bexar County Jail as a condition. Evaluation for felony drug court. If not accepted, then SATA or safety. There is to be weekly Zoom reporting upon release. And all evaluations are to take place while you're in custody. Two-year driver's license suspension. VIP, DWI education. Is there any other program she needs, Mr. Sanders?
Did you say the driver impact panel live?
Yes, driver impact panel live. Upon her release, I'm going to want field visits, random, 3 times per month. Ms. Johnson, when you are released, there should not be any alcohol in your house whatsoever. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And don't trade not drinking alcohol for some other addiction. I see sometimes people will trade it and say, oh, I'm just smoking cigarettes. It's still damaging, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Is there anything else, State, that she would need?
No, Judge.
Rebecca, is there anything else that Ms. Johnson will need?
A portable alcohol monitoring device, whether it's portable or ignition.
All right, she's not going to be driving. We're going to do Pam, or either we'll do any type of device. And Rebecca, if you could choose one where she has to at least blow into it at least 5 times a day.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Johnson, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am. Your Honor, thank you so much.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this was a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Ms. Johnson, now is the time. I know it's hard to stop drinking, but if you continue on the path that you're on, you're going to be asking for somebody to please donate a kidney to you. You understand? Or either you're going to have liver issues. That may be happening right now. I don't know. I'm not a medical doctor, but now is your time to get your life together. So this is your shot. You understand? I'm going to send you to a breakout room with probation. They're going to go over conditions with you, and then you're going to be taken into custody. And you are not going to be released until you've been evaluated for all these programs. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And if somebody tries to release you at the jail and you're mistakenly released from the jail and you know you're not supposed to, you need to immediately call probation, immediately call your attorney. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to send you to a breakout room. I'll send you to breakout room number 2, and probation will meet you in 2 and go over conditions. And Mr. Ross, if you'll make sure you contact felony drug court and let them know she really needs the help. They're always open. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you guys very much for squeezing us in. We appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right, Orlando Castagno.
Judge, are you ready for me to go over there now, or do you need me to
Yes,
wait?
yes, you can go over now.
Okay, thank you.
Orlando?
Yes, Judge. I'm here on Antonio Perez. It was a discovery compliance. Spoken with Marcus about it. He's still trying to locate the individuals, I guess, that would have the information. And I think we discussed that, recalling it for next week. I believe you're setting cases to be scheduled for trial next week.
Okay.
That he should hopefully have it by next week.
All right. Marcus, do you need 2 weeks, 3 weeks? What do you need for the discovery?
I think next week will be good. I was told that the only person who could access it will be back on Monday, and so that should work.
All right. So when people tell me they need a week, that's when I say, Norma, can I have 2 weeks, please?
And I was also going to ask, Judge, I have something set next week on the 27th and something on the 28th. I was going to ask if I could have Norma set the 27th for the 28th.
Okay. All right.
And
Norma,
those were for scheduling.
sure. Norma, can we do the 27th?
Yes, ma'am.
Or the
Whatever date
28th?
works for him. Yes.
Yeah, so I have a
whichever.
Roland Davis on the 27th, and I was going to ask if we
Oh,
could
wait.
put him to the 28th because I got to be in person in Guadalupe County on several cases.
Okay. What date?
The 28th, we could put him on the 28th.
All right. We will see you on the 28th.
Okay, and so I don't know what you wanted to do in regards to Antonio Perez, if you were going to give Marcus a week or 2 weeks. I didn't mean to kind of.
Oh,
do
no,
us
no,
like
no.
a-
I mean, he's saying he would have it on you'll have the information by the 28th, Marcus?
Yes, Judge.
All right. So we'll set it on the 28th.
Okay, and I'll email you, Norma, just to see if we can reschedule Roland Davis from the 27th to the 28th.
Okay. All right.
All
And
right,
do you
thank
need
you.
to speak with your client, Mr. Perez?
If you would put me in a breakout room with him.
All right. And if you could just bring him back to the main room after you speak with him?
Yes, Judge.
I'll send you all to breakout room number 3. Mr. Perez, if you'll go to 3. And everyone, just give me one moment, please. I need to send an email.
I'll be right back, Judge.
All right. Thank you.
Norma, this is Eddie Provanik. Is there a way I could go to a breakout room with my client, Ms. Phillips?
Ms. Phillips, if you go to breakout room number 1, please. Your client is not on the screen. Ms. Phillips, if you look at the bottom of the screen and go to breakout room number 1, please. All right, everyone, just give me a moment. Mr. Allen, just give me a moment. Yes, please.
We have the years on the sentencing.
Oh, sure, no problem. Here you go. And those two can now go back. Thank you. All right, Mr. Allen.
Yes, Judge. Here on Noah Nellum, we reset 2 weeks. We had an offer from David Martin, and in going over that offer, Noah and I had some communication issues. And so after talking with his some people that are closer to him, I did file a motion for just a competency evaluation based on some of the records that they had sent me over.
Okay, and is Mr. Nellum was here.
Yeah, I don't see him on the screen.
Norma, do you know where Mr. Just 1 second. As soon as she comes back, we'll find out where your client went.
Colonel Mustard.
You and your
In the library.
Your reverences.
In the library with the candlestick and the mustache.
We need to find out where your client went. He's not on screen, but we'll have an evaluation. Norma, do you know where Mr. Nellum went?
I don't know, Judge, but I can call the jail and see where he's at.
All right, if you can find where he is, because he's no longer on this screen.
And Tom, it was Miss Scarlett in the study with the candlestick.
Ooh.
But that has to include Matt's goatee.
All right,
have
everyone. There is John Pettis is in breakout room number 8. He has 2 cases. He is waiting for somebody to speak with him on Barbara Shorey, and it's criminal trial division.
Yeah, I think it's a robbery.
All right, Matthew, we're just trying to find your client.
Okay.
Hi, Judge. While we're looking for.
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Lefton. Who do you have?
It's okay. I've been hiding and messaging with David, but I had an off docket matter that I haven't filed a motion for yet, but I was going to ask to change a condition of bond.
All right, and who is your client?
His name is I think Norma was going to get you the paper. His first name starts with an F and his last name is Flores. I don't want to say it wrong, but.
All right. So have you been able to confer with Mr. Martin?
Yeah, David suggested I file a motion to see if he would agree to it at that point and set it for a hearing if necessary. I am happy to do that. We are actually set for Tuesday, but he does have a child custody hearing, I guess, on Monday. And so obviously if there's a no contact order that prohibits him from kind of, stops the child custody hearing. So I didn't know if the court would consider changing it to no harmful or injurious at this time, just so that matter can keep moving forward. Okay. And my understanding is there is a CPS case open against the mother. His case was dismissed last week for no findings.
Okay, so what is he not being allowed to do?
He
Go to court on
is not allowed
hearings?
to have any contact with the child, the victim, in the case.
Well, here's
And so
where
I'd ask, huh?
this is where I am. I don't have anything on the file. I just have the charges. So I will need a hearing because I don't even know the nature of the injuries. I just have a.
Right. I
So-
totally understand. So I will prepare a motion over the weekend and gather information. And maybe we can address it when we're in court on Tuesday.
Sure.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for your
All
time.
right, thank
I
you. So
appreciate it.
no problem. Thank you so much. We'll
Yeah.
see you on Tuesday.
Yes, ma'am. Have a good weekend, everybody.
All right, you too.
Thank you.
All right, Matthew Allen, they did not bring your client over today.
Okay.
So
I
we're
had,
gonna get a reset. You said you wanted him to be evaluated.
yes, I filed a motion as well, but I'm assuming will it get referred to Judge Carruthers for the eval?
Well, what I can do is I will sign the order. If you don't have any objections, we can sign and produce our own order so that it can be expedited.
Sure. Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, Norma, on Mr. Nellam, I need an expedited competency.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we will get that done. When does he need to come back for us to get an update on that, Norma?
I'll do the 25th, Judge.
All right, so we'll come back on June 25th.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too.
All right, Stephen Spears, we're just waiting for everyone else.
Okay. And Judge, Daryl got on a plane at 9:30. I think he was going to go up to Cincinnati, if I remember correctly. So
Yes.
I don't know if he's going to be able to join us or not. I'm not sure what time they land.
Oh, no problem. I mean, you're here.
Yeah.
That's good.
Judge and Norma, this is Eddie Brovanik. I'm here on Ms. Phillips. I wondered if I could speak with a prosecutor about her case.
All right, just give me one moment.
Thanks, Judge. I couldn't tell what you were doing, but it didn't
Oh,
seem
no,
like.
reading documents.
Oh, okay. Well,
All right, so let me find out which room you are in. You're in number 1. Could someone from the state go to breakout room number 3 to speak with Mr. Brovanik about his client? And it's Ms. Phillips.
yes.
Yes, Judge.
All right. And Marcus, are you there?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Velasquez, the agreement was for tracking only. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And also he's adding in here that the defendant is allowed to visit his mother in Austin, Texas.
I have no objection to that.
Okay. All right. And then who are the parties on Andres Martinez?
I'm here for Andres, Your Honor.
All right. And we're just waiting for the other parties to come in. So just give us a moment.
I think Bunk's on. I see him on here. He's the prosecutor on the case and my client.
Charles Buck?
Uh-huh. He's,
Are you there? Just one moment.
yeah, his name's there. I don't know what that means.
Mhm. All right, R.C. Curtis.
I'm here, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Curtis, could you unmute? All right, my understanding on R.C. Curtis. If you can unmute Mr. Curtis for me, please. All right, I think your client is getting someone to help him unmute. But before we go on the record, my understanding, all the discovery has been given. Is that correct?
We hope so.
All right.
We believe so, Judge.
All right, good. That's it, Mr. Curtis. All right, court is calling 2019 CR 10230, State of Texas versus R.C. Curtis. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Stephen Spear for the state.
For the defense?
Richard Langua for Mr. Curtis.
And also Charles Funk?
Yes, I'm also present.
All right, my understanding is one, in this case, that the state is not seeking the death penalty.
That is correct, Your Honor.
And my second understanding is that all of the discovery has been tendered.
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, do you believe you received all the discovery?
We believe we have, Your Honor.
All right, and the court is in receipt of the acknowledgement of discovery that has been signed. Third thing is my understanding is that this is going to be a jury trial. Is that correct?
Mr. Curtis has indicated he wanted a jury trial.
All right, Mr. Curtis.
Mr. Curtis?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Curtis, do you need to speak with your attorneys? Because if you decide to enter a plea, today is the last day that the court will accept a plea. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you need to discuss that with your attorneys? Because after today, the court will not accept any plea bargain agreements whatsoever. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you need to talk to your attorneys about that or no?
No, ma'am.
All right, are you requesting then a jury trial?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Norma, on Mr. R.C. Curtis.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we recall him for the second week? I'm sorry, the third week in June, so that I can give him his trial date?
The second week of June?
Yes, so I can give him his trial date because I believe we already have trials that are set. Yes, Mr. Blunt.
Did you say the third week in June, correct, for to come back on the third week?
Yeah, but Norma corrected me. It's the second, we're gonna come back the second week in June, and at that time, I'm gonna give you your actual trial date.
Okay.
So the second week in June will not be trial. We already have jury trials that are scheduled. So we're gonna get a date, and on that date, I'm gonna tell you when your jury trial will be. And Mr. Curtis, that will be the date for the jury trial. So state, everybody will need to be ready.
Can you give me a second, Judge? Can I go back there for just a moment?
Yes.
Judge, I'll leave the country on June the 8th for 2 weeks. I'll be back on the 19th. But if it's just a setting to get a date, I don't think Mr. Langua needs me here, but if it's something that's going to require both of us, I'd ask that you set it after the 19th.
All right, just give me a moment.
Yeah, and okay, I'll talk to her. Is that what she's here about?
No.
Oh. I thought somebody else was here.
She is. She's up there.
Okay.
Just give me a moment, everyone. We're actually going to be able to give you your jury trial setting now. Just give me a moment.
Of course.
All right. We're back on the record. So your jury trial date is going to be July 22nd, and the jury will be selected on July 22nd. So if there's anything that needs to be heard before that time, you need to let the court know, because the jury is coming in. We're doing jury selection on July 22nd. And how much time does both sides think you'll need for jury selection?
Judge, I would, from the state, I'd like to talk to Daryl, but if I, just off the cuff, I'd estimate, hour and a half or so roughly. But, it's, I'm not exactly sure, at least an hour.
All right. So I'll give each side an hour for jury selection. Of course,
Judge,
something happens.
Judge, we're gonna need more than an hour.
Well,
We're
we're gonna start with an hour, and of course, I consider myself very reasonable. If someone ends up needing more than an hour and questions are being asked, then I'll allow you to continue. But if it's going to be, of course, if people are to be asking the same questions over and over, then it's an hour. But if you end up needing more than an hour, I'm pretty reasonable. So let's see how it goes.
Very good.
All right, so July 22nd, Mr. Curtis, we're going to have you in person on July 22nd.
Okay.
right, so does everybody have that in their calendars?
Yes, Your Honor. And Judge, just so I understand correctly, we would pick July 22nd. Will we begin the following day on Friday, the 23rd?
Let's see how long the trial goes. Usually what I do pre-COVID is I would allow people to select a jury, and then people are able to go home and think about their case based upon the jury selection, and then we would start on Monday. But let's just start with jury selection on the 22nd. And of course, I will give you more than enough time for everyone to make sure your witnesses are lined up.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, is there anything else from either side?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Not at this time, Judge.
All right. And again, when you all are selecting your jury, if it appears that you need more time, just ask me for more time.
We will. Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Do you all need to speak with Mr. Curtis?
Sure, Judge, I'll talk to him.
All right, Mr. Curtis, do you have any questions about the process? Do you understand that we're going to start your jury selection on the 22nd of July?
Okay.
And then after that, then the state will present their witnesses, and I'll let both sides know when they need their witnesses to be present. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, with that, we'll close the record, although the record's been closed. Thanks, Brenda. Oh,
Thank
no,
you,
we
Judge.
didn't need that part on the record, Brenda. Yeah, we're good. See, sometimes, Stephen, I'm thinking Brenda can read my mind.
Well, I think she probably can. She just
She
doesn't want to do
does,
that
right?
away. I mean,
Sometimes I can tell, and then other times I'm like, wait, no.
Yeah. I'm like Magneto. I'm putting a steel thing on my brain so nobody can read it. All right, Mr. Curtis, I'm going to send you to a breakout room with your attorneys. And then after that, attorneys, if you can come into the main room. And then Mr. Bach, I'll need you back for Ms. Hunt-Singer's case. And so, Mr. Curtis, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. And Richard
Okay.
Langlois, I'll send you to 1, and Charles Bach to 1. And when you all finish speaking with him, please just bring him back to the main room so we can excuse him from here. And Brian Kimbrough and Stephen, you're excused. Thank you.
all right. Have a great weekend.
All right, thank you. You too.
Okay, bye-bye.
I'm present, Your Honor.
Yes, we have gotten all of your paperwork. Who was the prosecutor on this case?
It was Hunter. He's there.
Okay.
This is I, Judge.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Kimbrough, Ms. Byers, thank you so much for your patience. The court is calling 2019 CR 13938, State of Texas versus Shelley Byers. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Hunter Morse for the state.
For the
Brian
defense?
Kimbrough for Ms. Byers.
Right. And are you Ms. Byers?
Yes, ma'am. I'm Shelley Byers.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
None from the state, Judge.
Any objections from the defense?
No objection.
Ms. Byers, I'm showing you what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Court will find that the state is in, the court will, I'm sorry, someone's buzzing in. The court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Defense, I'm showing you the acknowledgement of discovery. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, I did. And I did review it.
Right. Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Byers, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
I understand it. And yes, we briefly talked about it.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, I do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Judge, we are pleading to a lesser included charge of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than 1 gram, state jail felony.
Any objection?
No objection.
Ms. Byers, the state is proceeding on possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than 1 gram. That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement, you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, it's in my best interest right now.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, she has.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her? Do
Yes, I do.
you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, I do.
Ms. Byers, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, I'm just trying to survive and get through this.
All right, has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
As well as I could be, as far as I know.
Okay, there's no as far as I know. Mr. Kimbrough has been representing you, correct?
Correct.
Are you satisfied with the way he's been representing you?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than 1 gram. They're asking that your punishment be assessed under 1244 of the Penal Code to 12 months in the Bexar County Jail. There's no fine. There are no applications, and the state will take in consideration 2019 CR 13937. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver repeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than 1 gram. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
It offers states one of the attachments, Judge.
Any objections?
Your Honor, my client wanted to address something to the court at this point about the police reports. So could I allow her to say something?
Yes.
Thank you.
Ms. Byers, what would you like to say about the police reports?
Well, not all the information in the police reports are true and correct, and there's a lot of missing information in them.
Okay.
But
With that
other
being
than
said,
that, we have no legal objection, Your Honor.
all right, Ms. Byers, I'm showing you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you
Yes.
electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, or review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, I would ask the court to find that there is a judgment satisfied in this case. She has credit from 10/14/19 until February 10th, 21. She was found competent on that, well, earlier than that, but then she made bond, I believe, on February 10th. So she has about 15 months credit. So I believe that this would be a judgment satisfied, Your Honor.
All right. Is that correct, State?
That's my understanding, Judge.
All right. Ms. Byers, is there anything you wish to say?
No, ma'am, not at this time.
All right, well, this will be your only time to say something if there's something you wish to say. But other than that, then I'm finding you guilty. I'll sentence you to 12 months in the Bexar County Jail. Give you credit for any time served. Court will show that the judgment is satisfied, and the court will take in consideration 2019 CR 13937. Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And also because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Byers, good luck to you. We're closing the record.
Thank you. I had a question, Your Honor. She has
Yes.
a monitor on, and do I need to file a motion, or can she get that removed through retrial?
No, there will send a motion to me and I will sign it and it will be removed. But
Okay.
she will have to go to pretrial services to have them remove it. So Ms. Byers, if you go to pretrial services today, they'll be able to remove it.
There's not a specific time that I have to go. I can just go anytime.
Well, if I were you, I'd probably try to get over there sooner rather than later.
Okay.
Do you have your pretrial services officer number?
Officer Garza, yes, ma'am.
All right, call Officer Garza, tell him you've been sentenced on this case and that your other case has been taken in consideration. And what I'll do, Mr. Kimbrough, I'll send you and your client to a breakout room so that she can call the officer and you can perhaps set that up for the removal.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I'll send you all to breakout room number 1.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
All right.
I'll submit it for dismissal.
Thank you. And Norman, can you let them know 13C, Mr. Curtis can go back?
And Your
Yes, ma'am, I
Honor,
will. Thank you.
Your Honor,
right.
I actually, I apologize for jumping in. I just wanted to put one thing on the record on Mr. Curtis's case before he was sent back. If
Oh,
Mr.
just one
Langlois-
second.
So don't send it back yet, Judge?
Yes, yeah, you can tell them to send him back, but it'll take a few seconds to put this on the record. Charles Blanc, are you there? Charles Blanc.
Yes, Judge, I'm here.
Hi, on Mr. Curtis's case, the state wanted to place something on the record.
Yes, Your Honor. We had.
Just one second. Let me
Oh,
call
I
it.
apologize.
All right, we're going to go back on the record in 2019 CR 10230, State of Texas versus R.C. Curtis for the state,
Stephen Spear for the state.
for the defense.
Charles Bunk for Mr. Curtis.
And the state has informed the court that there is something that they wish to put on the record.
Yes, Judge. I just wanted to let the court and defense be aware. Daryl and I had reached out to some of our witnesses about potential dates and any potential conflicts that they may or may not have. One of our witnesses, Dr. William McLean, who did the medical exam, is the medical examiner in this case, indicated that he may have a conflict around the July 22nd date. I am getting clarification from Dr. McLean because obviously if he's not available the 22nd, that's not a big deal. So I'm trying to see if he's available for the next week. I will let you and defense know if that does become an issue. I'm hoping it isn't, but I just wanted you to be aware of that.
That's okay.
Okay.
I will now that I have a certain date, I'm going to reach out to my expert who's in Florida and make sure he's going to be available that week as well.
Okay, everybody subpoena whatever witnesses you need to subpoena because we're going on the 22nd.
Judge, we'll make Dr. McLean aware of that, and we'll try to do what we can.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good weekend.
All right, you too, thank you. All right, now Charles Blunt, the other person, and Norma, you can let them know that 13C can go back. So the next thing is the paperwork on Mr. Andres Martinez.
What paperwork are you referring to? I'm sorry.
My understanding that this was working out. Is this not working out?
We are close to having it worked out. I found out that, as the court's aware, there are multiple prosecutors involved. Another group of prosecutors have debriefed another defendant. So I just got a copy of that debrief of the not the statement, but the information obtained from the debriefing. And I believe it's my duty as a prosecutor to give that to Ms. Hunsinger on her client's case. So I need to get that to her.
Yes, that I understood that to have happened recently as well.
Yes.
And I certainly.
And I believe she's entitled to it.
Obviously entitled to it. I don't know which set of prosecutors actually burden it is, but that's, as long as I get it, whatever statement, not just a summary. I want the full statement.
Right. I'm sorry, Judge, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Norma, when are the other co-defendants who are entering pleas, when are they set?
On the 28th, Judge.
All right, we call them back on the 28th.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
That works.
All right. Mr. Martinez, you'll be back on the 28th. So everyone needs to look at whatever they need to look at because this case has been going on a long, long time.
It's a very complicated case with many moving pieces.
And many moving prosecutors.
And that. All right, may we be excused, Judge?
Yes, I'll see you all back on the 28th.
Next Friday, we'll be here. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Pettis, I'm working on it.
Perfect. I wasn't sure if you got my message, Norma. Thank you so
I
much.
got it. Thank you.
And Judge or Norma, I've talked with the state on Ms. Phillips and I'm ready for the court whenever the court can put me in the queue.
All right, just give me one moment. All right, so yes, what is happening with Ms. Phillips?
So Judge, I'd asked her to be evaluated for competency. She was in a group home for some mental issues and Dr. Scott did evaluate her for competency and said she was currently competent, but that had he done it a month or two before, she probably would have been incompetent, which really matches up with what I saw. I've talked with the prosecution. I don't think that they're backing off the arson recommendation at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think we're going to be able to reach a plea deal, at least right now. So I'm turning to my concerns with her bond. She's currently on her medication and she has a father that's willing to take her in and would make sure that she's on her medication. I guess I'm asking that the court evaluate her for a PR bond. And then if she doesn't get that, which I know she may not, I'm going to file a bond reduction motion.
Okay, she's not eligible for a PR bond based upon the offense, and that's based upon the governor's directive.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know that. So it sounds like I need to skip step number 1 and go to step number 2.
Yes.
I can get the bond reduction motion filed. I don't think, quite honestly, that this is a Carruthers issue, and I respect Carruthers. Carruthers is going to give GPS and not agree. So I'm just going to be back with you. And I go to Carruthers, by the way, on 98% of these, but I'm just telling you, this is, I know what Carruthers is going to do, and he's going to put GPS, he's going to give her 10,000 lower than it. And then I'm going to have to ask you to hear it. So if you want me to go through Andrew Carruthers' step, I will, but I would prefer to shortcut what I know to be an useless outcome, and get that motion filed in front of you and have you hear it.
Okay. I mean, Judge Carruthers, you never know what's going to happen. He'll listen to all the evidence, but the court is more than available to hear bond reduction hearings. States, when will you be available to hear a bond for Miss Phillips?
Not Memorial Day. And
Humor will get you everywhere, young man. I wish I had humor.
And probably not June 30th, as I hear. Other than that, Judge, any weekday between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m.
All right. All right, defense, if you'll file your motion. And Norma, can we set this in June? Not at the beginning of the week, because everyone will be coming back from Monday. And I found that whenever we don't have court on Monday, it's always never fails as a defense attorney and a prosecutor, then Tuesday will become a Monday and a Tuesday. So maybe if we set it probably on a Friday.
Judge, I'd like to request the 4th. And the reason I request that is because I'm going on vacation, my last vacation, probably before I inflict my soon-to-be child upon the world. And my wife and I are going, leaving on the, yeah, we haven't been telling people because we're both a little older and we wanted to make sure it was happening, but we're 5 months along. And so if we don't take a short vacation now, it's simply not going to happen.
Oh, congratulations. And you know, if it's a girl, you should probably name her Stephanie. If it's a boy, you should probably name him Stephen.
So I that is a good suggestion. I have a great aunt I was very close to that will be the name of a girl, and an uncle that will be the name of the boy.
Well, you can put my name still somewhere in there.
Well, perhaps as a middle name.
Okay, awesome.
Would the 4th work with the court, Norma?
Yes, that's fine.
All right, so June 4th, and Brenna, we probably should have been on the record when he said he would name his child after me.
I think I might have slid through that one a little bit, Judge.
All right, Miss Phillips, we're going to come back on June 4th. At that time, the court will hear your attorney's motion. You're not eligible for a PR bond on this type of offense. So we will hear his motion for a bond reduction on June 4th. That's a Friday, okay? All right, thank you, Ms. Phillips. Thank you for your patience. Mr. Robinick, yes.
Would it be possible, I just want to tell her the ins and outs of what's going to happen. Could you put me in a breakout room and excuse me from there? Would that be okay?
June what? June 4th. June 4th. And I'm going to send you to a breakout room with your attorney right now, to breakout room number 2. And Mr. Robinick, if you could have her come back.
I will, Your Honor. Thank you,
All right.
Judge.
Thank you. John Pettis, you've been patiently waiting.
Yes, Judge. They finally did, I believe, bring my client over, Ms. Shorey, if I can get into a breakout room with her.
All right, Ms. Shorey, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1 with your attorney. Norma, can I send you to breakout room? I'll send you to number 3.
Judge, I'm back in the breakout room with from my client. I need to see if I can talk to Marcus one more time, just to hammer out a detail.
I think she left again.
Okay. There we go. Judge,
Hi, I'm back.
I'm
Yes.
back in the breakout room. If I can go to a breakout room with Marcus one more time, I got to hammer out one last detail.
Okay, Marcus Sanders, if you could go to breakout room number 3, please.
Okay, Judge, I went ahead and messaged Norma that we have an agreement to send us the video consent form. If I can go back into the breakout room with my client so I can make sure she signs that.
Okay, I will send you. She is in breakout room number 1. I'll send you back to 1.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. David Martin, could I see you in a breakout room, please? Breakout room number 3. If he is still here. Ah, there he is. I'll be back, everyone.
Norma, are you there?
All right, as soon as I receive the paperwork on Ms. Shorey, we'll take that up and then we will take our break for the afternoon. And I think for the afternoon, the only cases we have coming back are Josephine Gonzalez and Jasmine Hardaway.
Hey, Judge, on those two cases coming back this afternoon,
yes,
the calendar says 2, the recall docket says 1. So which time?
Oh, it's 2 o'clock.
Okay.
unless, and I think Ed Shaughnessy will be here too. Ms. Phillips, do you have any more questions?
I was gonna say I'll come back June what?
Just let me find it. Just give me a moment.
No problem.
You're going to come back on June 4th.
June 4th.
Yes.
That's in what, like a couple weeks?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. We will see you then. Have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Thank
God
you.
bless.
Oh, thank you. God bless you too. Norma, could you have her let them know she's ready to go back? She's L21.
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, I'm gonna step away really quick.
Okay.
When I came. You want me to exit? I don't.
Just wait. The deputy will know to come and get you. Okay. They just
Yes, ma'am.
they know where everyone is, so they'll come and get you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Yes, I can exit now? Yes. Okay, just right there, right? All right.
Judge, we're back and ready on Miss Barbara Shorey.
All right, I just received the paperwork and I have signed it. All right. Court is calling 2017 CR 9939, State of Texas versus Barbara Shorey. Can I have all the parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Marcus Sanders for the state.
For the defense? You're muted.
Sorry, I was muted. John Pettis for defense.
And Ms. Shorey, could you unmute for me, please? There's a long bar at the bottom. If you'll just hold that. Yes. Are you Ms. Shorey?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, everyone, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
No objections, Judge.
Ms. Shorey, did you sign a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision.
Okay.
Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you the same Barbara Shorey who was placed on community supervision in 2017 CR 9939 for the offense of robbery on June 21st, 2018 for a term of 6 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state.
Condition number 5, in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Barbara Shorey, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer in person or through virtual means, I Zoom, for the months of June and July 2020 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True, Your Honor.
We'll waive the rest.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Judge.
Ms. Shorey, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court can find it true, grant the motion, sentence you to 8 years in prison until a $1,500 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Judge. Our recommendation is the same as probation's recommendation, which is to deny the motion, order that a MIC-MIOF evaluation be done while in custody, and that she follow the recommendations of the evaluation.
Defense, is that the agreement?
That is, Judge.
Ms. Shorey, are you requesting that the court follow that agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, then the court will deny the motion, alter and amend conditions to include MIC-MIOF evaluation while in custody. You're to follow those recommendations. Is there anything else from either side?
Nothing from the state.
All right,
Nothing from the defense, Judge.
thank you. We'll close the record. Ms. Shorey, it's very important that you stay in contact with probation, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, I understand.
Here's the thing, we can't help you if we don't know where you are and if you don't let anyone know that you need help, okay?
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
If I didn't think that you could do this, I would revoke you. But obviously probation believes you can do it, your attorney believes you can do it, and the state believes you can do it.
Okay.
All right?
Yes, yes, I appreciate it, Your Honor. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Oh, thank you. God bless you too. I'm going to send you to a breakout room. Probation will go over conditions with you. And Mr. Pettis, if you can go into the breakout room as well. And then after you have introduced her to probation and also after you've made sure that she understands everything, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank
All right,
you.
you're welcome. I'm going to send you out to breakout room number 2.
Okay.
And I'm going to stop live stream. We're going to be back at 2 p.m. for our last 2 cases.